August 2015. A married man wakes up to find his name and secret fantasies plastered across the internet. By noon, his wife is gone. His boss knows his life is in free fall. He's not alone. 37 million names have just been exposed. A pastor in Louisiana is found dead by his own hand, a suicide note mentioning his shame. A famous reality TV star issues a public confession and disappears from the spotlight. Politicians, CEOs, actors, all exposed. How did a website built on secrecy become a weapon? And why did they decide to destroy millions of lives? Ashley Madison was a dating site with a single scandalous purpose: to enable affairs. Its slogan proudly taunted, "Life is short, have an affair." Founded in 2001 by a happily married entrepreneur, Noel Biderman, the site tapped into a hidden world of infidelity and thrived. By 2015, it boasted nearly 40 million users worldwide and was raking in profits. It even mulled a $200 million IPO, as if infidelity could be taken public on the stock exchange. Business was booming, but beneath the success lay deception. Critics called Ashley Madison a business built on broken hearts, profiting from marital betrayal. And the critics weren't wrong. The company charged users $19 for a full delete of their profiles, a paid purge for guilty consciences, and made $1.7 million a year from it. But there was an ugly twist. Behind the glossy ads and promise of discreet encounters, Ashley Madison hid secrets of its own. Inside those databases, something was off. The odds were too good to be true. Millions of men finding willing partners effortlessly? In reality, the vast majority of Ashley Madison's female profiles were fake. Internal leaks revealed 70,000 female chatbots, scripted seduction to keep men paying. These bots sent millions of flirty messages, seducing paying customers with illusions. Almost every time a man thought he was chatting with an eager woman, he was really flirting with a phantom. The real women were few and far between. Only a tiny fraction of female accounts showed any human activity. Ashley Madison wasn't just enabling cheaters, it was cheating its own clients. For years, none of this was public. Husbands and wives around the world trusted the site to guard their lies. The company's CEO, Noel Biderman, bragged about his success and insisted he was providing a valuable service to frustrated spouses. The illusion held for years. Then, in summer 2015, the hackers arrived. And they weren't after money. They were after blood. So who were they? July 2015. An alarm spreads through the Toronto headquarters of Ashley Madison's parent company, Avid Life Media. Hackers have breached their system, and this isn't a typical cybercrime. A mysterious group, the Impact Team, posts a shocking ultimatum: shut down Ashley Madison forever, or we will leak everything. They claim to have stolen the entire user database, financial records, internal emails, the keys to the adulterous kingdom. Ashley Madison's executives were thunderstruck, but they didn't back down. Within 24 hours of the hack, the company issued defiant press releases vowing to stay online. They claimed to have closed the hackers' access points and even offered to delete accounts for free as a gesture of goodwill. Behind the scenes, they called in law enforcement and cybersecurity firms. The message to the hackers was essentially, "We're not surrendering." Avid Life Media and CEO Noel Biderman seemed to think it was a bluff they could ride out. They had too much to lose by shutting down. Ashley Madison kept the lights on and hoped the storm would blow over. For a moment, it looked like it might. After the initial breach in July, weeks passed quietly. The media moved on. Maybe the Impact Team got cold feet, but then came a proof of life. On July 21st, the hackers leaked a teaser sample of Ashley Madison user records. Names, emails, credit card transactions, all real. Just 2,500 of the 37 million to show they weren't bluffing. Panic set in at the company. Still, they publicly denied their core database was compromised. It was a classic delay tactic. Ashley Madison doubled down, refusing to meet the hackers' demand. All the while, the Impact Team was preparing a doomsday device. Mid-August 2015, 1 month after their warning, the hackers made good on it. In the dark recesses of the internet, a Tor-hidden website, a link appeared. It was a data dump like none before. 10 gigabytes of compressed Ashley Madison data. To prove authenticity, the hackers even included a cryptographic PGP signature. It's real. It's all real. When decompressed, it expanded to a staggering 60 gigabytes of internal files, a trove of user account details, credit card transactions, hashed passwords, private profiles and messages, even internal company emails. On August 18, 2015, the bomb went off. The impact team pulled the trigger and dumped the stolen database onto the dark web for all to see. Ashley Madison's time was up. The instant the files hit the web, pandemonium set in. Within hours, data-savvy users and journalists worldwide downloaded the torrent. Though buried on the dark web, the leak spread like wildfire, mirrored on file-sharing sites, traded in forums, dissected on social media. Ashley Madison's promise of secrecy had evaporated in a single night. 37 million names, tens of millions of secrets. Now they were public. So who would be exposed? The morning after the leak, countless people awoke to their worst nightmare. The private sins they thought they'd take to the grave were now public record. The leaked database contained an astonishing level of detail. Real names, email addresses, home addresses, purchase histories, and even sexual preferences and fantasies users had listed on the site. It was a voyeur's treasure chest and a blackmailer's dream. Almost immediately, opportunists tried to exploit it. Spin-off scams sprang up, offering to delete your info from the leak for a fee, or claiming to provide search tools, only to infect the curious with malware. Inboxes of leaked users filled with extortion emails demanding Bitcoin in exchange for silence. There was nowhere to hide. As tech experts and journalists parsed the data, ugly truths emerged. For one, Ashley Madison's database revealed that almost none of the female profiles were real or active. Out of 5.5 million supposed female accounts, only about 0.2% had ever used the site regularly. The rest were largely dormant or fake, confirming suspicions that Ashley Madison had seeded its service with tens of thousands of fembot fake accounts to entice male customers. The hackers hadn't just exposed the user's deceit, they exposed the company's deceit as well. Men had been paying small fortunes to flirt with phantoms. This revelation only poured fuel on the fire, proof that Ashley Madison was built on a lie. And then came the names. As volunteers and journalists sifted the dump, they began matching email addresses to real identities. Nobody was spared. Civil servants, military personnel, doctors, school teachers, even thousands of .gov and .mil official addresses showed up in the logs. Suddenly, government and military employees found themselves potential targets for blackmail, their security clearances in jeopardy. In countries like Saudi Arabia, where adultery can carry the death penalty, the leak put lives at risk. The impact team had effectively painted a giant target on the backs of millions. The media had a field day. Prominent public figures were outed one after another. Josh Duggar, the conservative reality TV star and family values crusader, was revealed as an Ashley Madison client who had spent nearly $1,000 on the site. Sam Rader, a Christian YouTuber known for wholesome family vlogs, confessed that he'd had an account. Even political figures and international celebrities were accused of involvement, though in some cases, like that of Hunter Biden, the emails linked to them may have been used without their consent. Each new name turned the leak into a spectacle of public shaming. Late-night comedians cracked jokes, while tabloids splashed "cheater exposed" headlines across their pages. But for those on the list, it was anything but a joke. It was panic. Some rushed to deny or explain. "It wasn't me. Someone must have set up an account with my email." Others went silent, watching their lives unravel online. As the real-world fallout set in, the hack's true cost became apparent. Spouses confronted spouses. Divorce lawyers cleared their schedules. One New Orleans pastor, a respected seminary professor, was outed in the leak, and just days later he tragically took his own life, unable to bear the shame. And he was not the only one. Within a week of the dump, Toronto police announced they were investigating 2 suicides potentially linked to the Ashley Madison breach. The press conference was surreal. Law enforcement pleading for the hacker community's help in catching the impact team, while also begging people not to victimize the victims any further. This was uncharted territory, a data breach so personal, so catastrophic, that it was literally killing people. The secrets had detonated. Lives were ending. But could the hackers behind it really disappear forever? In the aftermath, a multi-agency investigation kicks off on 2 continents. The FBI in the US and the RCMP in Canada join forces to hunt the perpetrators of the Ashley Madison hack, but they're chasing ghosts. The impact team covered their tracks well. No obvious fingerprints, no brazen claims of credit on Twitter. After the data drops, the hackers simply vanish into the ether of the internet. Leads are sparse. Noel Biderman's early hunch about a rogue insider gives investigators one theory. Perhaps a disgruntled employee or someone with inside access had both motive and opportunity. Ashley Madison's own security team and hired experts comb through logs, finding a few hints but nothing conclusive. Was it an inside job by someone morally outraged, or an outside hacker who penetrated the weak defenses? One cybersecurity lecturer publicly speculates it had to be someone on the inside, given the breach's sophistication. Law enforcement interviews Avid Life media staff, and even some of their tech contractors. Names float in rumor, but no one is arrested. Whoever the impact team is, they're either extremely lucky or extremely skilled at covering their trail. The only thing investigators have for certain is the manifesto and the data itself. The manifesto's tone suggests a self-righteous motive. The hackers never asked for money, only for Ashley Madison to shut down. This wasn't a typical cybercriminal extortion for profit. It was deeply personal, almost ideological. That makes it harder. You can't trace ransom payments or follow the money. All the authorities can do is keep digging and hope someone involved slips up and talks. Meanwhile, Ashley Madison, which rebrands its parent company to Ruby Life to shed the tainted image, faces its own reckoning. Lawsuits pile up from angry users whose data was exposed. A $576 million class action suit is filed on behalf of Canadian members. It will eventually be settled for a tiny fraction of that amount, but the PR damage is done. In 2017, the Federal Trade Commission in the US finds that Ashley Madison failed to secure user data and even deceived consumers with fake profiles and false security claims. The company agrees to an FTC settlement, paying fines and vowing to reform. They even start advertising that they've added more women and improved security, a strange attempt at a comeback. Noel Biderman, the founder and CEO, resigns in disgrace within days of the breach going public. The king of infidelity disappears from the spotlight. It turns out he had his own embarrassments in those leaked emails, apparently seeking affairs despite his public persona of marital bliss. New management takes over and insists the site will go on. Astonishingly, Madison does survive. Incredibly, millions signed up after the hack, perhaps drawn by curiosity or the notion that lightning won't strike the same place twice. The site even claims to have more users than before, though such numbers invite an eye roll given their past exaggerations. As for the impact team, to this day their identity remains an enigma. No arrests, no public unmasking. It's as if they were a phantom that rose to deliver punishment and then evaporated. Theories abound. A lone wolf hacker with a moral vendetta? A hacktivist collective making a statement about privacy and fidelity? Or an insider with a personal score to settle against Noel Biderman's company? The lack of closure only adds to the legend of this hack. The ripple effects of this data bomb changed how people think about privacy and secrets online. If even a company built on secrecy couldn't protect its trove of intimate data, who could? It was a stark warning. Any data we surrender, even to a service promising anonymity, can become a weapon against us. And this saga was not the last. But Ashley Madison wasn't the only target. To see how hackers stole the NSA's crown jewels and turned the hunters into the hunted, click here next.